What's up? It's your boy Chrysalis.
It's better than how I do it.
Nah.
No?
I think you do good.
I try anyway. What's up, guys? It's your boy Chrysalis here, back at it again with a video with my girlfriend at my side.
Hi.
And we are going to be talking about movies that are coming out in 2026 that we are anticipating fairly greatly. I mean, obviously, we're not going to list every single movie we're anticipating because that would be a super long video. Yep. I'm going to list off my 5 that I'm anticipating, and she's going to list off the 5 that she's anticipating. I do want to give a couple of honorable mentions that we are anticipating these movies, but we're not going to go at length about each of them. For one, we're going to list as an honorable mention 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, because we're seeing it tonight.
Yes.
As of recording this, we're seeing it tonight, so we're both obviously anticipating that. We're also both anticipating Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights coming out next month.
Our Valentine's Day movie.
Yep, our Valentine's Day weekend movie. So that's gonna be really cool. If nothing else, it'll definitely give us a taste of what Dune Part 3, which I'm also putting as an honorable mention at the moment, how Dune Part 3 is going to look because they have the same cinematographer. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to list off my first one, and honestly probably my most anticipated film of the year. It's The Odyssey. I mean, it has to be my most anticipated one. It just has to be. Between just the impending release date, I bought The Iliad and The Odyssey to read. I bought tickets a year in advance when they became available for 70mm IMAX. So
we were almost going to California to see this movie because he could not find an IMAX theater at the 70mm closer.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing it in the Mall of Georgia.
Oh yeah, the Mall of Georgia. When I saw that it was going to be available to watch in the 70mm IMAX at the Mall of Georgia, I was like, oh, thank God I don't have to. Thank God I don't have to drive all the way to Fort Lauderdale, a place I've never been to.
We would have flown.
We probably would have flown, yeah. What can I say about The Odyssey as far as anticipation, right? It's the latest from Christopher Nolan, who is, in my humble opinion, probably the greatest filmmaker of the 21st century. I mean that with almost no hyperbole or exaggeration. The man just makes these moves in the industry when it comes to IMAX and just film and everything that just resounds and reverberates and echoes all throughout the world and whatnot. And I'm very curious to see what his take on the epic poem from Homer is going to have in store for us. A lot of the crew that worked on Oppenheimer with him, his cinematographer Hoyt Hama, and the composer Ludwig Göransson, who also did the score for Sinners last year, also returning for The Odyssey as well, so I'm just looking forward to it. Also, the cast is just immense.
It does have a fantastic
Matt
cast.
Damon, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, Benny Safdie, John Leguizamo, the guy who did the voice for Mr. Noodle in Sesame Street.
Yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah, he's in it as
well.
That
one was a shock for me.
Elliot Page. It's shout out to Elliot Page for their first Christopher Nolan movie since Inception, which was a whole era of their life ago. So
yeah, I'm excited to see Elliot in a movie role again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because Umbrella Academy's pretty much wrapped up now, I think.
Yeah.
So that's opened him up for a lot of new roles, and I'm excited.
Yeah. And I've seen trailers and bits and pieces of movies that he was in recently, but I never got to see them, so I'm curious. I'm very curious of what he's going to bring to The Odyssey, along with the rest of the cast as well. This is my most anticipated film of the year. It's Letterboxd's most anticipated film of the year. It's IMDb's most anticipated film of the year. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to it come July.
It was not your most anticipated movie, I would have been shocked.
Right.
Because I have seen you with the trailers coming in.
Oh, yeah, and
your excitement's been above and beyond.
Yeah, just seeing the trailers and the behind the scenes and the 5-minute long prologue that plays right before Avatar. So that was awesome.
I've never seen you more excited. I think for me, one of mine is because I am such a horror fan, is seeing the new Werewolf by Robert Eggers.
Oh, yes.
So after what he did with Nosferatu, I am so stoked because I really liked The Village. I mean, not The Village, but The Witch.
Yeah, The Witch.
I had The Village stuck in my head.
There was kind of a village in that movie, so.
I think that's wise because the man went out and built a whole village, but I also really loved The Village. That was a really good movie. But now I really liked what he did with The Witch, and then seeing The Lighthouse a couple of times now. And then when he came out with Nosferatu, just seeing the previews of it was like, yes, please, I do need to see this movie. It looks amazing. So I'm very excited to see what his take on a werewolf is going to look like in the new film. So I am anticipating that one coming out soon.
Yeah. Much of the cast that was working on Nosferatu also returning for... Hello, buddy. Much of the cast that for Nosferatu also returning for Werewolf. Aaron Taylor Johnson is returning for Werewolf, presumably to be the titular werewolf of the movie, along with Lily Rose Depp, Ralph Ineson, and of course Robert Eggers' muse and idol Willem Dafoe. Just, yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good movie because, I mean, they did such a good job in most of their movies, honestly. But I loved every single one of them in Nosferatu. So seeing them in Werewolf, I'm going to be very, very excited.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Introducing Esme.
Introducing, well, she kind of bombarded on a couple of videos already.
Oh, well, then it's the return of Esme.
Yeah. I mean, she's not going away, so. The next movie I wanted to bring up is actually a film that's a little far out there, but there is indeed a teaser trailer for it already, called Digger. Digger is the latest film from Academy Award winning director Alejandro González Iñárritu, who's made movies like The Revenant and Birdman. This movie is actually going to be starring Tom Cruise in what I feel to be a fairly unconventional role for him, considering that he's kind of just locked into like the Mission Impossible series that has now just reached its conclusion as of last year, as well as other action movies like Top Gun, and I think he was in a couple of the Jack Ryan movies at one point. So seeing Tom Cruise in a movie like this, I think it's going to remind people that Tom Cruise can do just a lot more than just like, you know, the action hero. The film also is apparently going to have both John Goodman and Jesse Plemons in it, and the only reason I knew that Jesse Plemons was in it was because they interviewed him recently about the movie, and he described it to be a hybrid of Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, and just something else just somehow even weirder than that. So that's going to be really interesting.
I'm excited to see John Goodman in movies again.
Oh, yeah.
As a 90s kid, like, I have grown up with him in so many different movies and things like that. So seeing him back in a new movie is going to be super exciting. So, and I do think it's going to have a great cast along with it. So yeah. I'm excited. I've not seen any of his movies before, but he has, and you know, he really says it's really good. So I'm going to trust his taste in it since he's got such a long range.
Yeah, I think my taste is pretty okay.
I mean, you're dating me, so I think it's pretty solid.
Well, you know.
Okay, so for me, I think my next most anticipated film is also falling under the same category of my favorite style, is The Bride. So we always see lots of movies regarding like Frankenstein, like the mad scientist behind the creature, and all sorts of different tellings, but we don't see as many over The Bride of Frankenstein. And I love the way this one looks, because I know traditionally, like typically, it's been a long time since I've read it, but like when they create the Bride of Frankenstein, like she rejects him. And I don't know how well this is going to go through on this one, but from what I've seen of the different ads and stuff on it and previews, like she looks unhinged. She is pissed off. She is just ready to rage, and I love it. I am so here for it. So I cannot wait to see this new take. on another Frankenstein creature movie after having seen the one that came out through Netflix. So, because that one, we went to see it in theater. I can't talk today. And I fell in love. So that movie was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
The acting was on par. I love the costumes, the storytelling, and it really pulls into like a deeper version that's more emotional than what a lot of them are. Because usually when you see a Frankenstein movie, you see like the creature and you're like, ah, yeah, it's kind of not got the most going on up top, and it's just a monster. But this one actually shows that there is a man and a heart behind the monster.
Yeah, that's
and
classic
what a
Guillermo.
monster like Frankenstein actually is for having created this whole living piece, and then like, okay, yeah, I made it, I don't want to raise it. So
Right.
I'm very excited to see how The Bride comes out.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember if I've recalled Maggie Gyllenhaal, who's obviously the brother of Jake Gyllenhaal, ever made a film or not. I feel like she probably has or not, so I'm interested in her take on directing. And it also has a pretty stacked cast as well. Christian Bale as, Frankie, the other creature. Very excited to see Christian Bale in a movie again. It's felt like it's been forever.
Yeah, it's been a minute,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, along with Maggie Gyllenhaal's brother, Jake Gyllenhaal is also in this. Penelope Cruz is in this, and last but certainly not least, the bride herself, Jessie Buckley, also in this. It's going to be a pretty interesting month for Jessie Buckley, since not only is this movie coming out in March, the Oscars are also happening in March, and Jessie Buckley, like, kind of the favorite to win Best Actress at the Oscars for Hamnet, so that should be pretty interesting to see for sure.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Alright, so the next one I wanted to bring up is The Mandalorian and Grogu. Listen, we all know that Star Wars is kind of in a hit or miss period of its lifespan at this moment, with like Disney's acquisition and Dave Filoni kind of playing sandbox with Star Wars characters, like, oh yeah, then the Mandalorian, what if Luke Skywalker shows up? And oh, what if he runs into Boba Fett? And oh, what if we make a show about Boba Fett, but it's actually just the Mandalorian, yada yada yada. And I'm like, we get it. But at the end of the day, it's still Star Wars, and that's kind of just all there is to it. Like, I grew up on Star Wars, I love Star Wars. So, like, the opportunity to see a new Star Wars film, the latest new Star Wars film since Rise of Skywalker, I might add, I'm taking it. Like, it's just a no-brainer. And if I love it, excellent. If not, well, it's still Star Wars on the big screen at the end of the day.
I like Mandalorian
Yeah,
pretty
me
well.
too.
I need to finish the show. I've not quite made it all the way through. I started and then got distracted, got busy. And I need to go back to it because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
Seasons 1 and 2 are excellent. Season 3, just pretty good.
yeah, I left off somewhere on season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to finish off season 2 and then watch season 3 so we can be ready for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited for it. I think Grogu's just cute in general as a character. And then honestly, like, I thoroughly enjoy like Pedro Pascal. Like, he's good in anything I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's had a bad role yet that I've seen him in.
Right.
And he's got a lot of different, like, faces for everything.
Yeah.
You know, he can be the super happy, funny guy. He can be very serious. Things like that. So he's got a good range.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, I think another one I'm excited for is Coyote versus Acme.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how this movie's going to turn out. I feel like it's going to be a lot of wackiness and fun. I grew up on watching Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, and all of these fun 90s cartoons. So, and one of my favorites was always seeing Coyote and Roadrunner. I still can't talk. Going after each other, and all of these plans for Coyote failing. And there's a lot of different, like, reasonings and stuff. Like, if you ever, like, look into it more, that they were like, oh yeah, so there's rules to it, like, Coyote can't do this, and like Roadrunner can't be on anything but like a road and stuff like that. I can't remember all of them right now. But I highly recommend looking into it, and I'm very much anticipating this one because I just want to see how this all plays out for poor little Coyote. Like, every single Acme product he has failed him. Some I feel like due to user errors, some because Roadrunner outsmarted him, but he never wins. And I'd like to actually see him win something for once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very happy that that movie is finally coming out because like this movie was made like some year or two, maybe even earlier than that ago, and for whatever reason, Warner Brothers weren't sure if like people wanted to watch it or not, so they just shelved it. They almost like just put it in the vault and used it as a tax write-up, and then they were just like, all right, fine, we'll just put it on sale. If anyone wants to distribute it, they can, and someone finally picked it up. So yeah, it's finally coming out for sure. I hope everyone sees it because like there was like a whole year or so where like everyone online was just like begging for it to finally come out and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was one of them. I love a good Coyote moment.
Oh yeah, me too.
I like Looney Tunes. And honestly, with the mix, like, animation meets, like, real life casting, it takes me back to, like, my childhood watching Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I love those movies. Space Jam was another one. There's just something about mixing the two different kinds of media that I just thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
Watching, like, this live person, like, act with a hand-drawn cartoon, or now it's probably CGI for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, like, I just thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
my next one that I wanted to talk about is a movie that's coming out in a couple months, similar to The Bride, called Project Hail Mary. Not really familiar with the director, but I am familiar with the source material, kind of, sort of. It's the same author who wrote another book that ended up getting adapted into a film about space travel called The Martian. That was like critically acclaimed and everything. But yeah, Project Hail Mary, Ryan Gosling's in it. I like just a good bit of everything that he's in. Sandra Hüller, who is in both The Zone of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall, is also in it.
rude.
It is kind of weird that the trailers are not like openly advertising that they have Sandra Hüller in it, so that indicates that she'll probably end up being like the best performance of the movie. But it's cool that she's still in it, and Greig Fraser, who did the cinematography for both Dune movies, Rogue One, The Batman, and a bunch of other phenomenal and gorgeous and good-looking movies, is doing cinematography for this one. So that's gonna be one hell of a ride for sure.
No, I'm excited for it. And I'm like, if nothing else, even if everything else like winds up sucking, which I highly doubt,
Mm-hmm.
the cinematography is going to be spot on.
Yeah, Greig Fraser, just like one of the most reliable to do it. It sucks that we're not gonna see, after this movie, we're not really gonna see any cinematography from him until the Beatles movies come out in like the next 2 years or so.
There's gonna be so many of those.
Oh yeah, like 4 of them. It's like a whole anthology.
Also cinematography.
Hey, listen, we
Looks
could.
like I'm not the only one who can't talk.
Hey, it is what it is.
So one of my next ones is actually the Narnia movie through Greta Gerwig. So I think she really did such a good job with the Barbie movie. And then I love the Narnias. Like, that is one of my favorite book series. I own like some of the older copies where they're like about yay big and they're in the white cover and they're like this thick. I have the whole collection. I got them at McKay's. Shout out to McKay's, being the best place to go for a book. I can't tell you how many times I've read them, loaned them to friends and family for them to read. There's just something about the adventure and that childlike wonder in these books. And it's just such a good piece of fantasy through C.S. Lewis. And as one of my favorite writers, like, I am dedicated to the Narnias.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I loved all the different movies, but I was always so sad that no one ever actually like went all the way through a series of them. Because like the original like Narnia movies kind of jammed a lot in together, and we've not really seen much out of it since. It's like the series of unfortunate events is another one I love, but they condense like several books into one movie and call it done, or they start it and then they never finish it, like the series that was on Netflix, I believe. But they did 2 or 3 seasons, each one like exploring like a book or 2 books, and then they just stopped. And like it was so good. So I'm very excited for the new Narnia. So I want to see what she can do with it, and I'm hoping it winds up being good enough they turn it into a full series to go through like the different books together instead of just being a one and done.
Yeah, I believe that's what the plan is, that it's going to be like a long series of movies about like the Chronicles of Narnia and everything. I believe this one is actually going to be starting out with like the actual first book and not the...
Ooh, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No, the other one before that one. Something about like the...
Oh yeah, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is actually the second one.
Yeah, second one. Sorcerer's Apprentice or Magician's Apprentice?
Yeah.
Warlock's Apprentice? Necromancer's Apprentice? I can keep... yeah, I'm very interested to see what Greta Gerwig is going to bring to the table when it comes to Narnia as a whole. I can't fully remember who all's in it. I know Charlie XCX is in it for some reason.
The Magician's Nephew, that's the one.
There we go.
A lot of them like skip right over that one.
Yeah, it didn't have the word apprentice, it turns out. Charlie XCX is going to be in it, which is pretty interesting because that's one of 5 movies that she's going to be in this year or something like that. I have to double check the cast again. I'll probably put names in the captions like later, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting, and hopefully when it, because it's supposed to be a IMAX deal, like they're going to be putting it in IMAX, so hopefully it's going to be playing at a one near us and not like, say, California.
Oh. California's going to come up a lot, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, I will say, like, I'm going to have to reread the books, because I am a little rusty on remembering them all. I do hope that we stick with that Magician's Nephew take, because that's actually where all of Narnia begins. That's how the wardrobe becomes the wardrobe, with the magic in it, and like how the White Witch actually came to Narnia. So those are a couple of little key details that are left out. Is like, well, where did she come from? She came from a whole other place. I'm not going to give you too many spoilers, but you know, the Magician's Nephew is the whole reason she's even in Narnia, because she's not actually from Narnia. But make sure you read it beforehand, or just go see the new movie.
So my final one is going to be another banger similar to the Odyssey, or at least I feel that way. Disclosure Day, which is the latest film from the GOAT, Steven Spielberg. He's finally making a original science fiction movie, his first since E.T., which was a very, very long time ago, which I shouldn't really need to clarify, but yeah,
Sorry, I don't understand.
Nobody asked you, Siri. Disclosure Day is going to be really interesting. It's a movie about revealing to the world that aliens are real and everything, and looks like it's gonna be excellent. Emily Blunt's in this, Josh O'Connor, Mark Ruffalo, Coleman Domingo. It's got quite the cast for sure, and the trailer just looks very Spielberg-y-esque, and I feel like the movie is probably going to hopefully like give us that same feeling at the end of the day. I'm just like looking forward to it immensely. I think it comes out in June, I'm pretty sure. Like,
I think so. I think it's somewhere on my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, so. Yeah, that birthday movie idea.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe.
Yeah. You gotta cash in that free popcorn and drink with that
you know
since
what?
you're a Stubbs member.
You're right. Yeah. I do need to cash that in. I'm excited for the Spielberg movie, though.
Spielberg, his nemesis.
Yes, his alternative personality.
His alter ego.
So I am excited for it. I like about every single one of his movies he's made.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's like more just mainstream or something more niche. But E.T. was like one of my favorites growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted me a little alien to ride around in my basket and fly. That was my main thing. I was like, please. And then like every time you turn around, I'd be doing like the little E.T. from home. Little fingers and poking at everyone. So
Spielberg's just the man. He's kind of done it all. Historical dramas,
Mhm.
sci-fi, just espionage, like Catch Me If You Can and all that. Not really espionage, more like a thriller, I guess. I wouldn't really describe espionage is more like Bridge of Spies, which is also a Spielberg movie. Yeah, I'm curious to see like what he has to offer for science fiction, his first original science fiction film in a long time. So looking forward to it for sure.
So, my last movie is probably the new Spider-Man movie coming out, Brand New Day. So, I love a good Spider-Man movie. So, I have watched every single Spider-Man movie that has ever came out. And I always think it's just one of my fun favorites for me because there's just something so relatable to Spider-Man because, like, he's just a kid. And, like, he wasn't some wealthy rich guy. He's not some one who just was born with superpowers. Don't get me wrong, he did get bit by the radioactive spider later on. And that's how he gained. But, like, there's just something about, like, you know, all right, well, I gotta balance saving the world and going to school and doing my calculus homework and things like that. So I always think that's a lot of fun. And I just enjoy them so much. So the Spider-Man games are tons of fun. If you haven't played them, I highly recommend. But I can't wait until it swings into theater.
Swings in the theater. That's a good
I know,
one.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely looking forward to a new Spider-Man as well, because literally the very first movie that I ever watched in theaters twice was actually No Way Home. I saw it once by myself. That was pretty fantastic. So I wanted to bring my parents to see it with me, and we saw it, and it was still pretty fantastic. I still think No Way Home holds up, even if like the superhero fatigue that's came from the MCU is kind of like kind of sullied like the image of like a lot of MCU and just superhero movies in general over the years. But I still enjoy No Way Home like quite a bit. Probably my favorite of the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy. So I've got no reason not to anticipate Brand New Home or not Brand New Home, Brand New Day.
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day. Thank you. I mean, it is kind of a brand new home if you remember how No Way Home like ends. So
Yeah, in a way.
yeah. Also, not even the only movie that has Tom Holland, John Bernthal, and Zendaya all three in them. The Odyssey also's got that too.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it's
So, I just feel like for me, like, Spider-Man's just such an easy watch. Like, there's nothing that you have to, like, oh, is this going to be a thing? Or do I have to really pay attention to this or hone in on this detail? Like, even from the very first Spider-Man movies that came out, like, all the way up through with the ones with Tom Holland, they're just good. They're kind of timeless. I can go back and watch any of them anytime, and I just enjoy them again and again. I don't really get sick of them. Even with all the different, like, people playing Spider-Man and different tellings of it, there's always something very unique about each section and each style with the different actors that played Spider-Man and had their series.
Yeah.
So, and then when they all got to come together in that one movie,
Yeah,
that was fantastic. I was so excited. I was like, this is one of the best pieces that the MCU has ever done when they're trying to tie all the timelines in.
Oh, yeah.
And just tie everything together, because I was like, that is perfect. Like, boom, here's all these different Spider-Mans. And it reminds me of the animated version as well, where they actually start exploring the Spider-Verse. And I was like, oh, they brought it to the actual characters, and they brought back the original and the secondary and now Tom's.
Yeah.
So, because I really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man as well. So, granted, I wish he had gotten that third movie.
Yeah, he does too.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah, right.
I liked him as a Spider-Man. I thought he was cute.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite overall probably now is the Tom Holland one. Just because was so young starting out and around the actual, like, Spider-Man age, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Tom Holland, probably the only age-appropriate Spider-Man.
And it's not often you get an age-appropriate
Yeah.
actor
Yeah.
in their roles.
Tobey Maguire was like in his 30s when he played Spider-Man, and like the first one. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be like a high schooler, like going on college. I'm like,
yeah.
What the heck?
And it was more like you were full on in college.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh yeah, quite literally.
So he did still look really young though, and I do think they did such a good job with it. Especially with them making sure like they kind of altered it to put them in college, kind of going in there already.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to pull off that, and then when bringing him back, like you could tell he'd aged, and I was like, I love the moment when they're all shooting their webs, and they're just like, that's natural.
All right, and that's our 5 picks. I mean, like I said, obviously there's quite a few other movies we're anticipating that's coming out this year. Since
Goat.
Yeah, Goat, of course. Can't forget Goat.
I'm just excited to see a goat playing basketball.
Right.
He's an underdog.
Yeah, the K-pop animation, or the K-pop Demon Hunters animation and stuff.
Mixed with the white man can't jump.
Yeah. So needless to say, let me know in the comments what movies you guys are anticipating coming out this year in 2026, because 2026 stands to be probably the biggest year in movies since maybe 2019. So yeah, like movies are coming back for sure, like since COVID kind of nipped it all in the bud, and we just kind of just been climbing our way like out of the rut and out of the ashes to find the light and all that, metaphorical.
Yeah, I'm excited to be
Football.
back in theaters again some more though.
Yeah.
There's a lot more movies that I'm anticipating this year than I have in previous years, and I just can't wait to go and see them all.
Oh yeah, me too.
So being AMC members with our Stars account gets us 4 movies, so I am down for it.
I think you mean Stubbs. Or AMC A-list. You said Stars.
Oh, well, rewind that part.
Same thing. I don't think I can do that editing. At least not yet.
Well, we'll just cut the ending of it.
Yeah.
Just cut the ending and we'll restart it.
But yeah, that's about it, though. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like to see more of us, or mostly just me, since I usually just do these solo, but I always love having her on.
He keeps me locked away. He doesn't like it when I'm in him.
Yeah, that muffled sound you hear in some of the videos, like, yeah, that's her.
No, truth be told, I'm usually at work.
Oh yeah, that's that too. Like in the closet or at work.
Nobody traps baby in the corner, but in the closet, sure.
Yeah, they never said the closet. The one plot hole that they never exploited. If you like this video, consider hitting like. If you really like this video, consider hitting subscribe and ringing the bell and all that jazz. And yep, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully we see you in the next one. This is your boy Chrysalis here.
Bye!
Signing off.
I love you.
I love you.